Hello there everybody, my name is Hytale, and guys, welcome back to another Hytheory video. So everyone, today's Hytheory video is going to be about Zone 2. So I recently came up with a theory for Zone 2 that is going to be connecting with my Zone 1 theory, everyone. So I did do some research with Zone 2 as well, everyone, or I at least tried, and I also want to thank you guys that commented and, supported the last video to let me know if you wanted to see more of this series or not. So here I am once again, everyone, and today I'm going to be continuing, but today I'm just going to be doing a theory on Zone 2. Connecting up to my Zone 1 theory. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and once again, this is a theory. This might not be the actual game story. This is just what I think the story is. So without any further ado, everyone, let us begin. So the theory begins, after Varen has pretty much, unleashed his war or his army over the lands of Zone 1, and after Zone 1's buildings have went, to ruins and all, the settlers that were in Zone 1, could not stay in Zone 1 because it was not safe. Now knowing that Varen could just unleash anything on Zone 1 in Orbis, they had to move away from that zone, because if they didn't, they would turn into what their fellow family members turned into, or what their friends turned into, which was dust. So just going back a little bit into Zone 1, after, Varen got out of hand and unleashed the army, and, after the buildings went to ruins, this war, the settlers that were there, they were not successful, everyone. What I imagine is this was a huge army. It wasn't just like a little few thousand. It was a ton of monsters. It was a ton of them. A ton of them that just invaded Zone 1. And, some of the settlers' family members joined the monsters and turned into skeletons, or they were put onto a curse. Now, this curse that I'm thinking about has to do with, I think this monster was called the Fence Stalker, if I'm not mistaken, everyone. Once again, that is the Fence Stalker, if I'm saying it correctly, which is this weird reptile fish-like monster that you can find not only in swamps but in the oceans of Hytale, from what some of the blog posts were saying, or from what the blog post pictures were showing as well. So yeah, that happened. Their family members and all their friends that they knew, or most of their friends that they knew, turned into dust and turned into these skeletons. So the rest of these settlers, knowing that this happened, had to go all the way across seas, everyone. So they set a certain time and then they set out to sea. And I would guess a few days later they arrive in Zone 2, and everything is okay. They see, wildlife there as well, but they do not realize the dangers of this zone. What's just waiting for them once they step foot on that sand or on that piece of grass block. Once they step foot in that zone, they don't know what is awaiting them. This is, guys, this theory is about to take a turn. So, I mean, they step foot onto, Zone 2, of course, after being out on sea for a couple of days and all. And I mean, they start to explore. Some of them as well start to make their builds as well. They start to settle there. They start to make their homes out of sand-like blocks. I don't know what the sand blocks in Hytale are called yet, everyone, so please forgive me on that. Apologies about that. I could not find the names. But yeah, that happens. Everyone starts to build these builds. They start to build temples underground and all. And then problems start to happen. So, I mean, their treasures are underground and all. And I mean, they have treasures in their homes. But what they don't realize is some of the wildlife here, just like in Zone 1, some of the wildlife in this zone does not welcome everybody. So, you have the saber-toothed tigers, and I mean, you have other things out there too. And that includes, hopefully I'm saying this correctly, the, what were they called? The Scarix? I think they're called Scarix, the insect-like things. But, I mean, what happens is, it's one normal day, of course. Everyone's gathering materials because, it's a dry place. So everyone needs water and all. So, you have these Hytale settlers making pottery to store their food in, to store their water in. And one of these settlers comes across something really, really strange. What he comes across changes everyone's view of this zone forever. So what happens is he comes across a Scarix temple, and it's not just the temple that's there, but there's a ton of Scarix all over the place. Just a ton of them. So he reports back, of course, to all the other settlers to tell all of them about this. Of course, no one believes him. No one is going to believe him. They think that's all just made up. And that is until they venture out themselves. So, of course, a few of them venture out, and, they go to see if this temple is actually real or if it was just some sort of rumor. And this ultimately leads to the downfall of their life. This leads to the end of their life, actually. So those few settlers, bam, they're gone. Turn into skeletons because there are too many Scarix. And they don't realize that, they don't realize the dangers of this zone. So, yeah, they get taken away by Scarix and all. And I mean, other settlers, once they find this out, I mean, they don't really know what happened to their fellow friends / their fellow family that went out there. They don't know if this temple is real either. So, I mean, night comes. Night falls on the world. Of course, everyone gets in their house. But things are about to take, even more. Things are about to take a turn. Another turn. Because what they forgot that this zone is a desert, everyone. And that's what these settlers forgot about. That this is a dry climate zone. Sure, they know to gather water and all to drink, but they don't realize that there are sandstorms and monsters do spawn within these sandstorms. Or you have something called void spawns within these sandstorms. So of course, there's just this huge dust storm that comes by all of a sudden in the night, everyone. And many of them are not ready for this. Many of them are just out in the night, just looking at their crops to see if their crops have grown or not. And when the sandstorm comes, it pretty much rips the skin off of most of the settlers, most of the settlers' bodies. And I think that is why, you see a lot of stronger skeletons in Zone 2 as well. That's at least one of the reasons why I think that. Because, there are skeletons in Zone 2, everyone. But from the research I did, they are stronger. So, reason for that? Probably because the dust storm, practically ripped the skin straight off of their bones. So, this happens, and other settlers are looking out of their window only to see blue glowing eyes staring straight back at them. And they see, that's all they see. They just see blue eyes staring straight at them. So wondering what this is, some of them go out to see, and when they get closer, everyone, it is a disaster. As they find out that some of their, fellow friends, once again, or family, have turned, of course, into skeletons. And I think that is almost it. That's almost the theory. But I have one more thing as well. Now, you may be wondering about the underground temples and what happened. Well, of course, the settlers, realizing that they definitely cannot stay in this zone and that this zone is too dangerous, they start to pack their bags. They start to walk, of course, to a safe place, pitch up a tent or two and settle in that little area for the night, away from their original place, their original settlement. And what's left behind? The temples are left behind with skeletons, and scarix, and more monsters that are in there. And not only in the temples, but in the houses, just waiting for another player to come by so that they can, they can wipe that player out. And that is it, guys, for this theory. So that was my theory about Zone 2, everyone, connecting up to the Zone 1 theory that I had. And before you guys click off of this video, or before this video ends, everyone, I would just like to let you know that I will mainly be uploading, for this month, April, and a little bit of May. I'm going to only be uploading on this channel on weekends, and that's because I'm very busy, throughout the week, everyone. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and let me know in the comments down below if you agree with this theory or if you disagree with this theory. That's my theory. So yeah, give me some feedback if you disagree with it, but also let me know if you agree with this theory, and let me know if I should keep up this series as well, because a lot of you in the last video really want me to keep doing the Hytheory series. So as long as there's some support, I will continue to do this series, everyone. So yeah, that's it for today's video. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and if you did, then please feel free to leave a like, and also feel free to subscribe, as well as turning on notifications so that you guys do not miss another Hytale video like this. Also, be sure to join my Discord as well if you want to if you want to see pictures of videos before they come out, or even the video itself before it comes out. So yeah, that is pretty much it, everyone, for this Hytheory video. That pretty much wraps it up, and I will see everyone hopefully in the next Hytheory video. Bye bye.